Woody had gone right to the police, this would never have happened.
Uh-oh.
So, there are liberties being taken, like, there's going to be an increased amount of shit talk.
Oh, I have to remind myself I'm here willingly.
Catch one with a little bit of attitude, big guy?
Man, you champion son.
Well, it's a kangaroo court.
What do you mean? How is the NFL a kangaroo court?
Could you please let me explain why?
No, I don't want to hear this garbage. Give me an answer to the questions I asked you.
What the fuck are we doing?
Come on with it, baby!
Thanks, boy.
Italian. I'll talk to you later.
All right. My undercarriage is sweating.
All right, and welcome into another edition of Third and Manageable Podcast. I am your host, Matt Diegert, and as always, to my left, student body right. We're going to go ahead and get going here in a second, but first we do want to thank our network sponsors, so give me 1 second here.
God, you always saw. For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs. And we have a very special show for you guys tonight because it is the start of...
You call her Stephanie, I call her Stephanie. You call her Stephanie, I call her Stephanie.
So what up? Good to see you guys. Big one tomorrow as the Buffalo Bills take on the Denver Broncos. 1 p.m. at home, broadcasted on CBS, but turn that noise down and turn on to Incom Radio and turn Eric Wood up. What's up, guys? We got a good one for you guys. We want to welcome Mr. Eric Wood. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all good. Good to see you.
Good to be seen, man, as A. Will says, man. We're live right now from Elliott Apollo's restaurant, and the big number 70 has graced us with his presence, man.
There's a new number 70 now, and Alec Anderson is an absolute beast.
Dog.
He's a beast out there. Bills run 6-0 linemen, most of the entire NFL, for a reason, to get that dude on the field. He's an absolute beast.
And you know what? And he's coached up by also an absolute beast.
Yep.
A guy that you're close with. Just talk to us about what he has done for the 6 linemen that grace the gridiron, man. And we're talking about Mr. Aaron Cromer, man. He's been outstanding.
He has been. And did you hear Deion Dawkins' comments this week?
I mean, I hear everything. I mean, he's
Right.
like the sounding board for like just the mental state of this entire community.
Yeah, so Deion Dawkins talked about Aaron Cromer this week and how great he is for a guy that's got severe ADHD and how he lets Deion kind of do his thing. And, like, Deion made a joke about it, but, like, that's real. It takes a mature football coach to be like, hey, I got my star dude, and that's probably looking at the wall. And you know what? I'm going to let him do his thing. I'm going to let him be him. And Cromer's unique because – Cromer was on the fast track to be an NFL head coach. He was an interim head coach at one point down in New Orleans, and then he gets that OC job with the Bears, and it all kind of falls apart there. And, you know, long story short,
I mean, that's a tell of the tape of the Bears, to be fair.
But he also said some things about Jay Cutler that got blown up, and they lost some trust in the locker room. All that being said, I mean, this is a dude that likely should have already been a head coach, but instead he's completely content being the offensive line coach for the Bills, helping out Joe Brady.
Working with the Hogs.
Because Joe Brady talks about him often, about how much he impacts the run game as well and their protections and all that he does to help Joe Brady out, which Joe Brady's younger than I am. He's, 35 years old. Crome's got to be 55-ish.
Man.
So 20 years older, and he's got all that experience. He worked with Sean Payton. Joe Brady worked with Sean Payton. So there's some similar concepts. It's like this perfect marriage, them two. I just hope if Joe Brady gets a big boy head job, that Cromer stays as well.
Yeah, did you see Josh's comments? He's like, he's done nothing here. Leave him alone.
No, and that's good. That's good. And that's him having some fun.
Sure.
And look, I hope Joe Brady at this age is just selective about it. Like, don't just go take a job to take one. Like,
It'll be there. You keep doing what you're doing, it'll be there.
Right. Just don't take a job to take. Like the Jet
Couldn't agree more.
situation right now.
Yeah,
is
let's
a
not
nightmare.
go to the Jets.
Yeah, like there's some nightmare situations out there. Now, the Patriots is a unique one because you're sitting on a top 5 draft pick. Should have been number 1. They blew that one.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if you saw the news. They're already working on a contract with Mike Vrabel.
with Mike
so.
Vrabel, that's what I was going to say. But that's a unique one in that they have the most salary cap space in the league, top 5 draft choice, and you have your quarterback. But the hardest thing is finding your quarterback. Real quick, see what Shady said this week about Doug Peterson getting fired?
No.
He goes,
He's such a teammate guy. He's like, do you see what my other teammate said? My other teammate said, I love that about you.
But on the head coaching deal, he was like, when are we going to stop firing good head coaches because of crappy quarterbacks? Like, why can't Trent Baalke take ownership for paying Trevor Lawrence that big second contract? Everyone would have taken him number 1. That's not the mishap here.
Yeah.
The mishap is, in Shady's mind, paying him all that money. And it was like, good head coaches get fired because of bad quarterbacks. And he was saying Doug Peterson was that.
But isn't it interesting the whole Belichick coaching trade? Like Patricia didn't work out. O'Brien didn't work out. McDaniels didn't work out. Bill O'Brien, but Dable's he's got to get in the cut. But do you think, Mayo played there. Vrabel now
and coached under him.
Yeah, and Vrabel now, they talk about Vrabel and he's such like a leader of men. And I think that's what Cromer is and everything like that. And to quote another one is, you saw Jordan Phillips talk about like, hey, I can bring my kids here in this locker room.
Mm-hmm.
I can have them around. I can have everything going. But we did have a big locker room guy come in this week, a guy that you know very well, a guy known for his locker room speeches. Kyle Williams is back, ladies and gentlemen. What were those speeches like, Ewood? I mean,
they were good. I asked him on my podcast at one point if he pre-planned those, and he swears he didn't. I mean, they were so good.
That's just Bayou passion.
You would have just assumed that they were pre-planned, written out. He memorized them throughout the week. But honestly, Kyle's speeches were great, and they held so much weight because of the way he played every Sunday. And if you got a guy that you see him take a play off here and there, like I don't need you to give the locker room.
And you practiced
speech.
against him sometimes,
right? No doubt. And what I'm saying is his voice also carried extra weight in the locker room because of the way he played on Sundays. And I'm not saying because he made tackles for losses, sacks, and made all those plays. I'm saying his voice carried weight because of the intensity that he played each and every snap with. When we're eliminated from the playoffs and it's week 17, you knew what you were going to get out of number 95. And that's part of what made those so empowering to the team.
But it's something we say on this podcast a lot, Eric, and I got to tell you to your face, man. Do you feel like the team owns the land, but guys like you, Kyle Williams, all that, they did the construction for where we're at today, and how nice is it to still be centered in the next stage of your career and watching the rise, man? What's the booth been like for a season like this?
Well, the booth's fun, and it's fun because the team's so good and they're entertaining. I talk to the guys all the time, and I'll use some self-deprecating humor and say, I don't know how you guys did this during the playoff drought. I mean, we had one meaningless game last week in New England, and we're prepping notes for the second half like, hey, do we get to the college football playoff, or do we just stick with NFL? Because we're going to need a lot of material, because no one wants to hear us talk about a 2nd and 2, 3-yard run that went for a first down. They don't care who had the good block there.
Right,
so,
and I mean, you were on the field since 09 and then till 17 when you got to play your first.
How much more
game.
handsome is he now in the later stage of his career?
Thank you.
I mean,
Beautiful man.
Unfortunately, you looked like the kid from Bad Santa. When you're on the field,
He looked like a bootleg curly-headed Mr. Potato. Now you just look like a GQ model, which we love. And he's still eating pasta at Ilios, and we'd like to thank them as their sponsor. You like that segue? 3785 South Park Avenue. 716-825-3675. Eric, before you go, let me get a score prediction tomorrow.
Score prediction, give me 30-13 Bills. The Bills become, the 4th team this year to score 30 or more against the Broncos. Those have generally come against the better teams that they've played. To me, so since 2015, rookie quarterbacks 0-5 on the road in the playoffs. Sean McDermott is 9-1, I believe, against rookie quarterback. I mean, to me, it's going to be a really tough atmosphere for Bo Nix in this offense to come in and execute. The reservations I have, you have Sean Payton, a very experienced coach. He's done wonders with Bo Nix. I mean, he starts the season the Broncos are 0-2. He has 0 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. It would have been very easy to say, hey, let's put this guy back on the bench. Let's salvage this season so I don't get fired, and then we can move on. But Sean Payton sticks with him. He develops him how he has throughout the season. So you have a young quarterback that doesn't have anything to lose. Like, it's not like Lamar in this playoffs where everyone's saying you either win.
Shout out
games.
Louisville.
Shout out Louisville. Love Lamar. Give me Josh though. But all that being said, he doesn't have any demons about him. He doesn't have any pressure. They can come in loose, take some chances, but I think this Bills team takes care of business, and there's a different chip on their shoulder this year, which would be a whole nother
Different
podcast
vibe.
in his set.
Different vibe.
To get to that 30-13, you mind giving us a preview of your keys to victory tomorrow?
Keys to victory would be
That was good.
make Denver one-dimensional. So stop. I'm not saying you got to shut down. So here's how you make them one-dimensional.
Tell us.
If it's an even game, you got to be able to stop the run so that they can't run play action and all that. Another way you make them one-dimensional is you get off to a lead. I mean, the game script for the Bills
It's running duo. Spencer Brown and Alec Anderson running duo all day.
They're beasts. Yeah, you bring Alec Anderson in the game, and those guys start double teaming 260 pounds.
He was a tone setter.
Right.
He was a tone setter the other day. He got chippy. He does have a cool, but he's a tone setter. He inflicts the nasty, man. Dude, thanks for coming on, man.
Dude, my pleasure.
Good luck tomorrow. Have some pasta. And, man, go Bills. 13 says Eric Wood.
30-13, Eric Wood. That's what the prediction is. Definitely want to thank you for coming on, Eric.
Yeah,
and,
my pleasure.
Love you, buddy.
Love you guys.
Love
Big
you
fan
guys.
of the pods. Keep those referee reports flowing.
Oh,
I love
he's
referencing
buttering us
those.
up.
I love
buttering us
referencing
like a
those
dinner
on
roll.
there.
Yo, thanks, E-Wood. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So that is the original number 70, Mr. Eric Wood. His size is 6'6", his personality is 8 foot. So, anyway, we had Eric Wood on the pod, man. I guess I do know him.
I mean, hold on a second, though.
Oh.
Wait, hold on a second, though. Does that count? Does that count against your, since we mentioned him on the pod?
Who gives
Does
a
that?
fuck? Anyway, tomorrow, man, Allen has a history, man, of elevating his game in the postseason. And that's definitely going to be pivotal to the Bills' success.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know.
It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, so I wanted to talk to you about this since you're kind of on the defensive side of the ball. You
Sure.
were in college. What will we be seeing tomorrow from the Denver Broncos? Because they play a lot of man coverage. So do you expect to see a lot of cover one? Do you expect to see a lot of cover zero? Because they are one of the most they use it a lot. I couldn't think of the word.
Diversified.
I apologize. Yes, thank you.
So here's the thing is, Josh is in year 7? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's seen a lot of coverages. He's seen the robber disguised as too high. He's seen the 3-ball. He's seen the inverted Tampa 2. How much do you want to get into the game if you're the Denver Broncos? With pre-snap disguises, okay? Because pre-snap disguises are predicated on late high switches and everything like that. Are you going to trick them? I don't know. There's a lot of talk about QB spies, Matt, and QB spies are a nice idea. And when Josh Breaks went off for 18 yards, you get kind of the ingratiated or the non-ingratiated people saying, like, where's the QB spy? You run a QB spy. Who's covering James Cook out of the swing?
And
Who's
guess
covering?
what?
Listen.
That, yeah.
Who's covering Ray Davis? Who's covering Ty Johnson? You have all athletic backs that are inherently more athletic than the linebackers tasked to cover them.
Well, and so you bring that up. Denver. Do you know what they are? DVOA against running backs?
No.
31st.
Okay.
Coming out of the backfield.
No good.
That's so they're going to be able to take advantage of that a lot tomorrow.
Yeah.
With James Cook and Ray Davis and Ty Johnson specifically. Ty Johnson getting his touches and everything like that. So that's going to be a huge thing for them tomorrow.
And with that, we move to the Peak in the Pit. Maddie, segment brought to you by Fubo TV. Fubo TV, turn them on and turn them up. Use code DO at sign up. Maddie,
Yo,
we'll go with the peak. What is the peak of which the Buffalo Bills have to ascend to guarantee everything of a victory tomorrow? What's the peak?
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of what Eric mentioned already. Is you get those big guys moving, and they on defense, they have Zach Allen, and they have, a couple of good defensive ends there that they're going to have to shut down, and they're going to have to play to the strengths of the Bills, and that's Josh's legs, that's James Cook, that's Ray Davis, and getting them going out of the backfield, and to be able to, if you get them going, that's probably going to be your peak.
And the key is to stay going, no lulls or anything like that. That's how kind of the rookie playoff teams, the rookie quarterbacks beat you. Matt, my peak is what Eric talked about, and that is that Aaron Kromer led offensive line. Get in there, get nasty, get it done, and protect Josh. We can pick them apart just by having the ball for a longer game managed time, as long as he is protected, which he's been all year. Everything you need, Matt.
Nothing you don't.
That's what our offensive line blocking has been. It should continue to be. Hey, Matt.
Yo.
What is the pit in your stomach?
The pit
that
in my
could
stomach,
lead to a loss tomorrow. Let me finish the intro. I know you're fired up. You just saw a real player in real life. No shouts. What is the peak? You told us the pit in your stomach, man. The pit in your stomach that would lead to a loss tomorrow.
The pit in my stomach is to allow them to do what they did to us last year, and like let them slow down, let the man coverage dictate to what they're doing, rather than having dictating to what we want to do tomorrow, and get up and go forward and play that bully ball style, and run the ball effectively, get Josh going with his legs. I know everybody hates it, but the everybody eats type thing, everybody eats. It's truly what it has to be.
Yeah. The pit in my stomach, Maddie, right now is a very close, blustery game tomorrow. The pit in my stomach is not so much a concept. It's not so much a scheme. It's not so much predicated on player performance. Mm-hmm. It's predicated on the weather. Playoff football is good football. All football is good football. But kind of the shining jewel always is teams you don't see very often, and teams that are hungry and want it. There's no such thing as gearing up for playoff football. You're there because you earned it. So you keep the MO going, but sometimes externalities like wind, like snow, sometimes those affect games, man.
Well, and the thing is,
that's a pit in my stomach.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, that you have to, remember, and it kind of goes along with the pit in your stomach, is you're not having San Francisco come in here and play. It's Denver. They get as much, if not more, snow than the Bills do, and they're used to playing in this weather. You got Bo Nix, who played at Oregon, played in a lot of rain games. Not that that's snow or anything like that affecting, but he knows what he's doing in these type of games. So I really do agree with you in that point where they are. That is also a pit in my stomach as well. Is are they going to be able to, are they going to be able to take advantage of certain things against the Denver defense if it is snowing and blustery and it, kind of turns into, because we do have a winter weather warning.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why tickets are on the slide. Looking in pre-broadcast, get in price right now. You might not believe it, $73 before fees currently on Game Time. Ticketmaster, no free shout-outs, but that's where you can get them. You're trying to go to the game tomorrow? You can get in. You can get in for less than face right now. But as we were talking about on the car ride here, maybe not for the clubs, because as inclement weather goes up, so do the prices. Direct correlation of the clubs. Lower Bowl right now, checking them out. Get in for $105 tomorrow. So if you try to go to the game tomorrow, you're indecisive, you're listening right now, make a deal squeal. Get on those websites and get in there, be loud. Maddie.
Yeah.
Let's move to it, buddy. This is why we suck. Here's why you suck. Maddie, take it away. Why do I suck?
There really wasn't a lot from you from last week that here's why you suck, because we didn't talk about a lot of the Patriots stuff because we figured it was going to be a loss for this team because, and I can't really say anything except for like we did on the postgame and laugh at the Patriots because they cost themselves the number 1 overall pick.
So I don't suck. I'm the man. Is that what I'm ranking right now?
Don't take it that way, but
I'm not the man. Here's why I suck. Here's why you suck. Currently, you forgot a camera today.
I did.
And right now, I think you are way more confident than I am that the Bills are going to definitively beat the Broncos. I think you're higher on a Bills performance than I am. Is that true?
I would definitely agree with you on that because I really think Josh has his better games against man rather than he does zone. So, if they're not playing that robber or that spy or whatever you want to call it in their defense,
sure,
then he's going to be able to use his legs a lot. And Josh Allen in all his play, I'd have to get the exact numbers, but he typically goes over 60 yards rushing in the playoffs.
Are you gonna lock that in, man? You gonna lock that in as a bet?
I would do above 60.
And Maddie, oh man, it's lined you up for this. What app are you going to use if you locked it in?
FanDuel,
the official sports pick of Do Champion. Check them out. Use Do for the promo code. Get some free money, man. And get some free knowledge. Maddie likes the QB, Josh Allen, for over 60. Hey, if you're checking out this game tomorrow, you can check it on CBS at 1 p.m. We did mention the weather. Freezing temperatures are predicted for the game. Obviously, that's going to impact player play. It'd be interesting if James Cook goes back to that fused jersey instead of the Vapor Pro, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would definitely be. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens as far as what players are wearing tomorrow. But also too, I do want to talk about the couple of the did you knows on the side there that we have that's been running throughout the entire show.
Sure.
Do you know the last time that the Bills in a wild card game were favored by 8.5?
The last time the Bills were favored by 8.5, specifically in a wild card game?
Yes.
Was I born?
Yes.
Okay. That means the Titanic has sunk already. I am going to go with 1992.
96 against the Jaguars, Jim Kelly's final game.
Oh, boy. Oh, that is I thought I just heard it well. Never mind. Wow, that's a good one. Hit me with the next one. Did you know, man? Did you know? We can decide on the sidebar. If you guys have any questions for us, please keep it moving.
Yeah, so until yesterday,
okay,
when Lamar Jackson was named first team All-Pro, Josh Allen was a minus 450. He is now on a lot of sports books, plus 200 to win the MVP.
Where you at with that, man? Is that
I am
so
not.
Much discourse. Do you remember so much discourse on an MVP? The last MVP that won the NFL MVP and won a Super Bowl. Who was that?
Was it Aaron Rodgers?
Kurt Warner.
Okay.
Kurt Warner. The last dual MVPs, Matt.
Oh, like co-MVPs?
Co-MVPs,
was
duels.
McNair and Peyton Manning in what, 03?
No.
I think it was 03.
Really? Rest
Yeah.
in peace, Stephen Nair,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
You know what we never talked about, man?
What?
In going to this? A guy who played for the Bills, a guy who played for, Lamar Jackson led Baltimore team that we just saw 2 weeks ago, and we were remiss not to talk about it. How good was it to see the fan base just standing over for Tyrod Taylor?
That was awesome. I mean, the guy got us, out of the playoff drought. Him along with Eric Wood, along with Kyle Williams, all those guys, and they did a heck of a job getting us out of there, getting us out of the drought that year, and only good things happened from there because they got Josh Allen, they got.
And they got a James Cook. Tommy Giambra, good comment, man.
Yeah.
I predict James Cook to have a monster game tomorrow. We can only hope, man. Games like that with inclement weather, man, the offense does have the advantage. You know why? Because they know where. Go ahead.
They know where everything's going.
They know where they're going. They're not playing reactionary football. They're playing, direct football. Footing, maybe issue. Hey, Matt, when you played, what kind of cleats would you wear in an inclement game tomorrow? Because they are molded. They're metal tipped. There are the molded and screw-ins. What do you predict out of?
I was a molded screw-in guy. But I had to have the longer cleats so I could get into the grass.
You're a D lineman. Yeah.
I never played on turf itself, so I can't really say what's best for that. But I would still think that the longer cleats would get them into the turf and allow them to push off on that. Because when you look at it, we saw it against San Francisco. They were slip sliding and falling all over the field and everything else. So I mean, it just.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of those wide receivers, they're using some of those Kobe Mamba, those Vapor Kobe Mambas. Those aren't going to be the best because they're molded cleats. They're built to be light and everything like that. Is that turf heated?
No.
No, not a
Not yet. 2026, the field will be heated for the Bills.
Yeah, and hopefully in 2026 we contract a plowing company and not
Rely on
the charity of fans to have a hot dog, a Pepsi, and $20 an hour. Come on, Buffalo Bills. Let's shout to you. Maybe we got to talk to Eric Ward about that after that. No free shouts. Anyway, Matt, you're going with me tomorrow to the game. What do you are these games, when you're watching these games, Matty? I'm asking about your fandom. Are there cocktails involved? Is it too stressful? What are you looking at pre-snap? Because I know what I do. It's minimal cocktails because of the stress level. It's hard to watch in person. I normally get out of there in the fourth quarter, Matty, just because I like to watch the penultimate scenes at the Ringside Lounge at the Apollos. But man, it's tough to watch them in person, but you got to be loud. You got to be big. Are you excited to go tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean,
it's the first one in a while for you, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's my first playoff game since I was one of the 300,000 that went to the AFC champion or the AFC wildcard game here in Buffalo against Houston. So, with that being said, I don't drink during Bills games. I used to be one of the guys that
your blood courses through your veins too fast.
I used to be one of the guys that would tailgate and everything else and whatever and now I just can't do it because I'm too worried about the game. Like you get that nervous feeling in your stomach and that doesn't mix well with alcohol and you just I enjoy watching the game. I enjoy watching what's actually happening on the field and putting together reading the defense, reading the offense, everything like that I was on the sidelines for when I played.
Yeah, absolutely. And bringing up the tickets right now. If you guys are trying to go in right now, that's what we're looking at right now. We are looking at, $267 get in price right now, $85. That's pretty cherry, man. $85 with fees. This is all on SeatGeek right now. I mean, you can get right up close for $259. I don't think that's indicative of people not subscribing. But you know what also is good in the fandom? There is no conversation about the next game. This is do or die time, and we know it very well. We've been to these playoffs a bunch of times. We have a seasoned veteran coaches, but we don't.
2019.
But we don't have seasoned veteran coaches. Are you worried about Joe Brady at all? Coaching his his first full season, putting his first full season on tape, and then taking that in the playoffs. Are you concerned with Bobby Babich? His first full season going into the playoffs. What's your concern level on two more or less fully formed boys now leading the team into it? Obviously, Sean McDermott has been here before. He's had a little bit of success, but he's never got to the top of the mountain. Maddie, the two more or less younger coaches at the helm. Any reservations, anything like that?
My only reservations right now are happening in the chat.
Oh, man.
Sounds like I'm going to be.
You want to explain that
covered,
one?
It sounds like I'm going to be covered in ketchup and mustard.
Oh, man. Kevin Elliott. How about the Steelers? Matt, tell the story the right way.
So, what it comes down to is this morning on No One to Blame, we did a show bet, and
First of all, there's no we. You did.
When I said we, I meant myself and Jesse did a show bet this morning on No One to Blame, and it was the Steelers. I took the Steelers. He took the Ravens, and we came up with the bet. It's a Pinto Ron bet, and it's I gotta once it gets above 50 degrees, if the Steelers were to lose, then I would be covering myself in ketchup and mustard. Covering myself in ketchup and mustard.
What brand are you using? You using Heinz? You using Hertz?
It's got to be the cheap stuff. It's got to be the cheap stuff because there's going to be having to be a lot to cover myself.
And right now we welcome the proprietor of Ilio DePaulo's. This is Ilio DePaulo. Hey, what's that helmet behind you mean to you? That's a good one, isn't it? Yeah, that's the St. Francis one, man.
Wow. Red Raiders.
Yeah, a lot of stickers on there. I guess I played in an All-Star game.
This was All-Star game. 1 or 2.
Hey, man, as a quarterback, you played high-level college football. Tomorrow's going to be a blustery game. Tomorrow's going to be inclement weather. How does your preparation, how does your mindset, give us a little bit of nuance. How that is the ball different? Is the footing different? Do you abbreviate anything in your game?
And we're not talking the Turkey Bowl. How you're getting ready for that.
We're talking your high-level college football. Ilio, walk us through what's a little bit of Josh going to go through tomorrow with a blustery game.
I'm going to tell you right now, all those players wish they were playing in a dome. That's for sure. They'll line in the trenches. Hey, they'll man up and do
They're
it.
big
but
hogs.
trust me, the skill positions, running backs, quarterbacks, Josh, he's like, damn, wish they had that dome today. But no, the ball's a lot harder. It definitely benefits the offense a little bit more. Obviously, you know where you're going compared to the defense there too. But you just got to man up, play through it. Everyone's in the snow together, and there you go.
Hey, cold weather games. Were you a guy that wanted to be under center, or you wanted to be in the gun?
Under center, just because
More tactile feel.
more tactical, more ball control, more ball security, and honestly, tomorrow the wind, the weather, all that stuff, it's going to be one in the trenches.
Very good. Ilio, we just said Eric Wood. He said 30-13 tomorrow. I believe 30-13.
Yep.
Very good. Ilio, give us a score prediction tomorrow, brother man.
I hope it's 30-13, but I'm thinking Bills 24-14.
Very good. That's Ilio DePaul coming in. Thanks for having us, man. Once again, Ilio DePaul is 3785 South Park Avenue. For reservations, call 716-825-3675. Maddie,
Yes, sir.
you know what we're going to do right now? Off
are
the
we doing?
rack. Off the Rack, a segment sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. Fat Boy Surf Club, they outfit people like Alec Anderson, Spencer Brown, Ryan Vandemark, and they should outfit you too for 20% off. Use code DO at checkout. Fat Boy Surf Club. Everything you need. Everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
Giant man.
Sorry, I was reading Tommy's comment
Yeah,
in
okay.
the chat.
Okay, we'll read the room better. This edition, Fat Boy Surf Club, Off the Rack, it's easy. No equipment changes that I noticed. Matt, you notice any equipment changes?
I didn't notice anything except for one.
What was that, Matt?
A certain quarterback that has sat out 11 quarters has been wearing a different hat each game every time.
Oh, so he's got a different lid on? What lid did he have on? He has a ball cap on. That's the equipment change. The ball cap. He's not wearing a helmet. Maddie, how many quarters did he sit out? 11?
11 this
Played
year.
like 100 less snaps than Lamar Jackson. It's
80.
80. I mean, that's got to be stated if you want to have the MVP conversation, which I'm getting pretty sick of. We have bigger sites. Those MVP conversations, those are for the rest of the company or the country, man. Those are for the Dallas markets. Those are for what? The Vegas markets, the Chicago markets. Those are their conversations.
Those are for betting markets and everything like that. But I will say it is getting real to a point where it's almost it hurts a little bit because but also too at the same time, I mean, chalk that up as another one for them to throw up on the bulletin board.
Were you shocked about the All Pro vote?
I wasn't, because here's my thing: your All Pro, your Offensive Player of the Year, your Defensive Player of the Year, those are stat
Superlatives.
awards. Those are stat awards. Who had the best stats? Who put up the best numbers during the year? That's completely different than MVP. The MVP is the most valuable player to their team, and if you remove him off your team, would they be doing the same thing? We're seeing it right now. They, with the Ravens in this game against the Steelers, who, are up 28-7 right now. The Ravens over the Steelers right now. So it looks like if the Bills do win this weekend, they are going to be playing the Ravens here in Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's not look ahead. We got a task at hand. Hey, Matt, Tommy's got a question for you based on Off the Rack. Once again, sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. Are we going to see ball cap Josh tomorrow? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a close enough game. Even if it does get to 30-13, you're probably going to see it like 21-13 for a while. They may score a late touchdown. Late touchdown, make it 28-13. Whatever happens, 31-13, however it goes.
Yeah. Am I going to see ball cap Josh tomorrow? If we do, we're in. It'll be for the right reasons. It won't be for injury. Never root for injury. It won't be for injury. It won't be because of scheme. We want to close out games and leave it completely shut. The door I'm referencing. We want to leave it locked. No stone unturned.
Right.
To guarantee victory. So ball cap Josh, if that's what you're rooting for, I don't know if playoff football these days ever gets to blowout status. I mean, you did see that today with the Chargers game. Herbert just didn't come to play.
Yeah.
And that's the difference is, we're out of the era where Josh Allen, hopefully, knock on wood. Where he's been susceptible to those letdown games. That's not even on my mind, Matt. A letdown game. A letdown game for Josh is anything under 200 yards passing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been one on the ground, at least one in the air.
So, and here's the thing. I mean, when it comes down to it, we are playing the number one defense as far as sacks go, but we also are the number one offensive line in the NFL. You have players like
led by Aaron Cromer,
Nick Bonito. You have Jonathan Cooper, you have Zach Allen, and you have John Franklin Myers, who came from the Jets. Together, they combined for over 60 sacks this year. I think they had 63. Those guys are putting a lot of pressure on the offensive line to, have a good game, specifically, to keep Josh upright. And, I do see a point where you may let them run past Josh, and then Josh takes off, especially if they're playing a lot of man.
Hey, and speaking of men, we got a lot of men healthy, Matt. Healthiest we've ever been. Mm-hmm. That's inspiring.
22 of 22 starters are playing this week.
Everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
Oh, man, Matt, it feels good. It feels good to not have that anchor attached to our tails. Like we're not suiting up and outfitting backups for lack of a better word. Man, we're not too removed from the AJ Klein days.
Yeah. I mean, that was last year. That was last year.
We're not too removed.
No.
I mean, he wore 4 numbers in 4 years because, they were veterans that we had to plug in and play. And right now we have our best
bits.
Thank you, man. Come on, follow the leader. Follow the ball here. And we are following the leader. The leader, Terrell Bernard, he's been playing fantastic. We touched on it last week. We didn't chase that Edmonds money. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people that have been in that cultured room. I thought it was brilliant that Eric brought up Phillips. He brought up Dion and how much and how palatable the difference in the locker room is. And I hope it makes all the difference in this hopefully this penultimate Super Bowl run. Hey, speaking of the Super Bowl, Matt, where can you catch us that weekend?
We will be on Media Row.
Media Row, we're credentialed for the Super Bowl. Dude Champions, super proud of us there. So if you want to catch us on Radio Row, shout us out. We'll know what we're doing. Hey, Matt, why don't you hit me with the sponsors? Let's play some bills so we can pay for this trip.
Absolutely,
Once again,
and we do want to thank all of our sponsors.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs. Of our sponsors there. Real quick, I know we wanted to touch on something. I know you wanted to touch on the money line real quick, or the spread real quick. So go right ahead.
Yeah, man. If you're laying down some shekels tomorrow, if you feel inclined, you're looking at the Bills favored by 8.5 points over the Broncos. We touched on that before. What was it in 1996? The last time a line has opened up this big. Bills minus 450 if you like the money. Broncos plus 350. So there is money to emotionally hedge here. Same game parlays. I mean, the ones that are really cooking is James Cook. Over 12.5 receiving yards. I might take that, Matty. You like that over 12.5?
I do.
You want to play cover one? That's how we beat it.
Right.
Just get it to the swing back.
Well, and that's the thing. I do want to touch on this real quickly. Points per game for the Bills. They are 30.9, which is second in the NFL to the Lions. And then the Broncos defense is actually third at 18.3 is what they give up per game. Yards per game, they are 7th at 317. The Bills are 10th at 359. Third down proficiency for the Bills against the Broncos, 44.1%, which gives them 7th, and 37.3, which is 11th for the Broncos. So they could definitely take advantage of them on third down. Red zone percentage, the Bills are second in the NFL at 71.6. Red zone percentage for the Broncos defense is 46.9, which is third. So that they definitely keep teams off the scoreboard when they get them, or out of the end zone when they get them down to the when the teams get down to the red zone against them. And then turnovers, the Buffalo Bills are first in the NFL at 8. They are one of the they are the first team the first team to ever have lower, or they are the best team when it comes down to
struggle with those words
yes,
a little bit.
I am right now because I'm trying to process a thought. But between the sacks given up at 14 and then the turnovers at 8, the Bills are one of the best team at that at this point. And turnovers against is the Broncos are 25th, which is 8th for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're talking about the weather elements a lot. A winter weather warning, absolutely. But you know what also affects a player performance that is an outside element? Noise. Matty, 71,000 currently for the Highmark Stadium capacity. So be loud and proud tomorrow. The stadium's kind of known for that open air design.
Yep.
For Bronco fans coming in. Bronco fans coming in after the game hit Iliota Palos. Matt, currently, there's a lot of talk and a lot of candor about that rookie quarterback, Bo Nix. They've done a lot with less, and that's the tale of Josh, and that's kind of the tale of Bo Nix, and I mean less in that Bo Nix, he's touted, but he's not feared. Matt, you fear him? Because I think a lot of people are trending high on his performance, his demeanor, the way he commands that offense at such a young age. Josh's kind of old dog right now, but he's kept that intensity and that energy. I think there's something to be said about Bo Nix's intensity in the way he's played. But what is your concern level of Bo Nix having a day?
So it's really the same thing with when we saw Josh before, is getting into those things like that he did against the Texans. We saw it last week with Bo Nix when yes, it was wide open. He made that pitch, but that also cost them 10 yards because of the penalty. On his run when he broke away from the Kansas City Chiefs. But we also got to talk about it real quickly too. They haven't played anybody. They truly have not played anybody.
Come on, they don't set their schedule.
Hold on, I'm not saying you play.
I had to pierce the armor somehow.
You play who's in front of you.
I don't like these arguments, man. I don't like them.
You play who's in front of you.
Right, but
I
you
get that.
play how you play. You control how you play.
And I get that, but what I'm saying is they played a Joe Burrow team who beat them. They played a Patrick Mahomes-less Chiefs last week.
Patrick Mahomes-less?
Yes. They played a Chargers team who they lost to. They played a Colts team that they lost to. They played a Browns team that doesn't have a quarterback. They played a Raiders team that doesn't have a quarterback. They played a Falcons team who was playing Kirk Cousins at the time. And then they lost to the Chiefs. So I mean they haven't really played a lot of teams when they're going through that. So
sure.
There's not really a lot of competition that's been there for them to turn around and play. And we can talk about it all day long about how you play, who's in front of you, but when you're not playing the competition, it doesn't give this is the team that the Bills who's in front of them is the team that they have to play, and they're playing one of the top offenses in the NFL.
Absolutely. In the offensive line, you said in front of them, they are up front. That offensive line is it's only allowed 39 sacks in 17 games, man.
I mean, that's crazy.
It's great. I mean, that sack rate is what? 30. That's got to be like 5%. I'm just kidding. I did the math before the game. It's 5.8%. I was just trying to.
I mean, and that even seems
sixth best in the NFL.
That even seems a little bit. That seems a little bit off because they've only
5% of passing attempts. I'm sorry.
They've only given up 14 sacks this year.
Really?
Yes, they've only given up 14 sacks this year as a team, as an offensive line.
Oh man, that offensive line, man. What is that? The shining is either the offensive line, its health, its cohesion. the shining lectern and bullhorn of the strength of this team, or is it the wide receiver room? We broadcasted a clip from August 24th of 2024 from Ryan Talbot. You saw it before everybody didn't. He admonished Khalil Shakir. He admonished Samuels. Man, Matt, talk about just how integral just that core offensive line is, and trying to draw a parallel to how integral that core wide receiver room is.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as the offensive line goes, I mean, they just keep Josh up upright as much as they possibly can, and Josh does a lot more with his legs to extend plays and keep himself upright, because if he's not taking sacks, he's either picking up yards with his legs, or he's getting the ball down the field. And we see it all the time with Josh making these amazing plays, whether he's within a yard of the out of bounds markers, or if he's in the pocket.
Yeah, and Spin, we appreciate your comment before you won. At least 2 of those sacks have combined for a total of 0 yards net loss.
Right, which means Josh is getting to the line, and he has the ability to kind of keep everything down.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, so as wild card weekend kicks off, you saw the Los Angeles Chargers, excuse me, get kind of just picked apart by what looked like a pretty strong Texas team. That game ends 32-12 with the Texans advancing the divisional round. Currently, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. We appreciate you being with us. Hopefully, you got the game on there. That scores 28-7 in the third quarter.
It's 28-14 now.
28-14. Okay. Elios, get better internet. How's that? This tomorrow, the Bills do kick off 1 p.m. That's broadcast by CBS. Please check out Eric Wood if you're listening on terrestrial radio. Afterwards, you got 8:15. You got the Commanders at the Tampa Bay Bucks, and you got the Vikings. And
so I did want to move to the other side of the ball for the Bills, because that is truly one of their strengths of the team itself. With Sean McDermott, with Bobby Babich, and they've given up. They're not that good on third down. Their third down percentage is 29th in the league, but they've only given up, being 29th in the league in third down percentage, they've only given up 21.6 points per game.
Good stat.
Where being 11th, which is 11th in the league. They've only given up 341.5 yards, which is 17th in the league, which is about average. But we've seen it. You talk about numbers and analytics and things like that, but then you also go to the eye test. They're a bend but don't break defense. They keep them off the board. They are average as far as red zone percentage goes at 57.4, 16th in the league. But Denver is 62.5. So we'll definitely see that might be something that if they can keep them out of the red zone, they might be able to keep them off the board.
Absolutely. And if you're trying to keep yourself in in the stadium tomorrow, we do have current ticket prices right now. It looks like the get-in price currently $104, and it gets all the way up there. $104, good value tomorrow. So guys, be loud, be proud. Tomorrow, hey Matt.
Yes,
as
sir.
we closed in, we tried to do an hour, but my nerves. We were gonna have AOL on. I think AOL is probably he's probably sucking down some special ranch water after that brutal Texas loss. How's the college football season shaped up for you? You got one last night. You're an Ohio State fan.
Ohio State
looks
in
good,
the national championship game. That's
can't beat Michigan.
Notre Dame. I mean, it's the Bills.
Sorry, the team up north.
The Bills didn't beat the Ravens this year, so I mean,
you get one for that. That was good. That was absolutely good. But we do want to shout out No One to Blame. They do cash Houston +3. Good pick. That's our boys Kevin. That's our boy Jake. That's our boy Neffy. If you guys haven't caught No One to Blame this morning, Matt just lost a big one. He'll be. Were you covering yourself in ketchup and mustard later tonight?
I mean, no.
You're pushing a lot of bets down the road, and I just want to hold you accountable.
No.
I want to hold you accountable. You owe a thigh dance. Now you owe some condiments on that pretty suit jacket.
The game's not over yet. It's in the third quarter. It's 28-14. The Steelers are driving. So, hopefully we'll see that Russell Wilson brings them back and has a little bit of magic and it's left in him to overcome the 21-point deficit. So. we'll see what happens in there. But as far as the bet goes itself, my stipulation was it has to be above 50 degrees
No one
first
cares
because
about you. No one cares about your well-being if you're making condiment bets, Matt. Okay. But we do care about the well-being of players. Hey, Matt.
Yo.
Who you talking to, buddy?
So, I am actually going to talk to this week. I'm going to talk to Alec Anderson.
Oh, come on with it.
Continue to keep bringing that
Kick
nasty.
some fucking ass.
Yes. Yeah.
Kick ass.
Continue to bring the nasty. Continue to make those
Inflict your
blocks
will.
when you get on the field. Continue to help this team along and continue going forward.
Absolutely. You know who I'm talking to, Matty?
Who?
I'm talking to Eric Wood. Thanks for coming on, man. Hopefully you guys are loud and proud tomorrow. The Bills open up as heavy favorites. And I like this team. I like where we're going. Everything you need.
Nothing you don't.
Hey, Matt.
Good to be seen.
Good to be seen. We'll see you guys later, baby.
Bills make me wanna kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your head back and come on now. The Bills are making it happen now.